Leverage won't make you rich, but it can certainly make you broke. And you might be sitting there as a real estate investor, especially if you're in any industry that uses leverage, you might be like, well, I use leverage all the time. That is what is going to make me rich. Yes, it can help you. It is a springboard to wealth. But leverage misused can also make you, there's a Bible verse, the borrower is servant to the lender. Like if you're constantly just borrowing, but you're never keeping the money. If you close a deal, let's just say you buy a property, you get a private money lender, they give you that leverage in order to buy the property because you don't have the 200, 300 grand sitting in your bank account to take that deal down. So the private money lender sends it to you. You're using that leverage in order to take down that deal. Then at the end of the day, maybe you're making 30, 40, 50, $60,000 on a fix and flip. So you've used that leverage in order to create income. I also want you to use leverage to create wealth. How do you create wealth? How does anyone create wealth? Well, there's a couple different kinds, right? On paper, I could be a millionaire. I literally sat down with a real estate investor recently. They show me their deals in their pipeline and then what they had already bought. And he was a millionaire on paper. Like he had $1 million in equity, but he came to me because he had no money in his bank account. And I'm like, okay, are we really wealthy here? Like, can we really go out there and do what we want? Are we able to transfer our wealth into the real world? And in his case, even though he had it on paper, he couldn't eat that equity. I want you to build portfolios. I want you to have equity. I want you to be a real estate investor who understands that I can use leverage to create wealth, but I also want you to be cash wealthy as well. That does not just mean hoarding all your money all the time. It means being very smart with every dollar. This is why I preach profit first so much, because it is a system that clearly helps you from when a deal comes in the door. Where do I put that money in order to increase my wealth? So you'll be able to say, I get $1 in the door. I put a little bit towards, paying myself, a little bit put towards the reserves of the business, and I want to put a big chunk towards reinvesting it. But as long as you're building the wealth, you're paying yourself, you have reserves, then I want you to grow the business and I want you to have an operational expense account and pay those expenses. This is why leverage can be so dangerous, because it can help you scale quickly. But if you don't know how to scale profitably, you can scale yourself out of business. So that's why leverage can be very, very dangerous, but it can also be the greatest wealth building tool that you have. You just need to know how to play with fire. Literally, because leverage can be fire. Fire can be used to purge, to be able to refine, to be able to build, but it can also be there as a chaos agent to be able to say, just rampage everything. When I was 13 years old, we had a fire in our house. That was not a great fire. But then at the same time, we went on this trip later on that year and we built a fire and we were all around that fire. We all bonded with that memory that I'll never forget, because it was like to the Great Lakes or something. And that's where I want you to be able to use the fire in your business. And the leverage is that fire. It's the fire that can really help you scale and grow and be able to go to where you want to, or it can burn you down. It can burn down the entire business. And what I want for you is to have a system. So when you use that leverage that helps you get deals in the door, that leverage also is not misused, where maybe, I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but you are doing a project, okay? And you have a lender for that project, project A and lender A. But then lenders A's funds run out. And now you still have some project A left over. So you have to go to lender B to fund project A. And now we have the makings of a Ponzi scheme. Now we're just going to use other people's money from other projects to fund the first project, and then we can never pay anyone back. You don't want that. That is what will burn you down. The Ponzi schemes, the over leveraging, that is what can really mess up your business. I don't want that for you. I want you to have a business where you say, you know what? If I don't have the leverage enough, or if I can't get enough leverage for project A and I've overspent, well, I'm glad I have a reserve account, because now I can cover those overages without lighting my hair on fire and without going to project, to lender B to finish this first project. I want you to use leverage to your advantage. Cash and the cash reserves that you build are your greatest asset with leverage. It's telling you that you are a business owner that knows what to do with your cash, and that you are a responsible business owner, meaning you could probably handle more leverage now. If you have systems in place to manage every dollar, to make sure you know where every dollar is going, leverage should be the greatest tool that you have. It shouldn't be the thing that takes you down. Thanks for spending time with me today. If this episode gave you clarity or a new perspective, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. If you're ready to apply what we talked about today with real guidance and accountability, visit profitrai.com to schedule a free discovery call with us to create your path to financial clarity and freedom.